Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another and the last World of Warcraft Cataclysm Patch 4.2 DPS guide. As always, this is Draven from the US Burning Legion server, and today, last but not least, we will be taking a look at the Survival Hunter. In part 1 of this guide, we'll be covering stats, specs, talent, glyphs, macros, my UI and add-ons, pets, pet choices, pet talents, all that good stuff. We may even cover a bit of rotation if we have time, so let's get started. Alright, first and foremost, the stat priority for a Survival Hunter, like every other Hunter spec, is Agility over hit rating to the cap of 8%, followed by crit rating, you want as much crit as possible, which comes right above a soft haste cap. Now this haste cap is implemented provided you have 3/3 pathing and of course you picked up Hunting Party. You need to get 20% haste, and with those two talents you'll need 757 haste. You will be allowed to cast 3 Cobra shots in the 6-second window, well technically 5-second after the global cooldown, for the cooldown on explosive shot. So you want to aim for 8% crit rating, followed by 757 haste rating, and then stack as much crit and mastery as possible. That's what you're looking at for stats. Reforges and enchants can be found damn near anywhere on the web. Go to Leah's Church if you need help with that. I won't cover that in the video. Reforging is pretty simple, provided you follow those guidelines. Let's go ahead and take a look at the talents. As always, if you haven't guessed by yet and you haven't seen my videos, I will explain what I did not take as opposed to what I did take. I did not take Hunter vs. Wild. I gave up my 15% stamina because generally it's not going to be the end of the world if I don't have the extra 15%. If someone's going to one-shot me, it's probably going to one-shot me with or without that 1% hit rating. So, or that 15% stamina. I apologize. Alright, I did not take survival tactics because the odds of my spells being resisted, my traps being resisted, is really not that high. And even if it is, 2 points in it just to get 4 seconds off my disengage is not that appealing. This is an optional talent. If you want this talent, then go ahead and take 2 out of entrapment. I personally took entrapment in case I need to trap some crap, ads or whatever, maybe. Definitely a nifty hard mode best to lock, best to lock, hard mode Rylith, all that good stuff. I did not take point of no escape because, even though I took entrapment, it's not going to be often that how to put this? It's not going to be often that there's going to be frozen targets around, or targets under the effect of my ice trap and freezing trap. So that extra crit percent, it's really not that great. I also did not take counterattack because I probably shouldn't be within melee range, and if something's attacking me, I have to parry it. I probably shouldn't be parrying crap because again, the tank's not doing his job, or I was stupid and did my job wrong by pulling aggro. And last but not least, I did not take Mirrored Blades. Although this is an arguably decent talent, I just offhand can't think of anything that would work on in a PvE environment. I doubt this works on, AoE. And if it did, I think that'd be a little bit OP to bounce back the 80k AoE hit from X named boss. So I didn't pick it up. Everything else I thought was a great talent worth taking, so I took it. Let's hop over to Beastmaster. I took 1 with Nature. This is an optional talent, however, it is one of the better optional talents, so I took it. Go for the Throat and Efficiency are really the only 2 decent talents within the first tree. Rapid Killing is really not that hot. It's not that great. And then 2/2 Careful Aim. Not only did I take this for the sheer fact of I can use it as comparison with my Marksman and my BM videos, which both use this talent for the sake of comparison, this is also arguably one of the better talents to go with the spec in general. If you don't like Careful Aim, if you think, it's not worth that 90% of that boss, that 90% of that mob's health, it's just not worth it, you're welcome to take the points, put them into Sikkim. Bestial Discipline, I guess, but they're probably best off used in Sikkim or careful aim, personal preference. Take what you like. It just worked out nice for me for target dummy testing that I was able to pick up careful aim. Again, totally optional. Take what you prefer. My pet talents. I'm using a ferocity pet. When it comes to a dummy, the best pet you can use is a cat, because he's going to give you that strength and agility buff, which is also going to boost your crit. You just can't get around it. This is the best pet you want for a one-on-one dummy test. Now, in a raid environment, you probably have that buff provided by a warrior or a shaman or a death knight. So, simply ask, hey guys, what do you need me to bring? What pet? And they're going to tell you, we need X buff. Bring the pet that provides that buff. You bring it, you make your raid happy, it's all good. Now, let's take a look at the ferocity talents I took. I took Serpent Swiftness. I took Dash, because neither of these are going to yield DPS increase. Serpent Swiftness will, and Dash is just nice if you want to recall your pet. I took 3 in Spiked Collar, 3 in Culling of the Herd, 3 in Spider's Bite, 1 in Call Wild, 1 in Rabid, and to get down here to Wild Hunt, I took 1 in Bloodthirsty, just because there's not a lot of better options. Nothing else is going to really help me. So I took 1 in Bloodthirsty, and my final 2 points in Wild Hunt. Let's take a peek at glyphs. For glyphs, I chose Rapid Fire, Serpent Sting, Explosive Shot. Now, this is arguable because, you probably could say, hey, I want Arcane Shot over Rapid Fire. Or I want Kill Shot over Rapid Fire. Why'd you take Serpent Sting? I don't even like that. I don't want that. You can mess around with it. See what yields the best DPS increase for you. I'll go ahead and, before I do my part 2 video, I'll take Arcane Shot. I'll put it over Rapid Fire for the sake of a dummy test, because I'm only going to use Rapid Fire once. So, the ones you're going to want to be using is Arcane Shot, for the dummy at least, Arcane Shot, Explosive, and Serpent Sting. You can arguably take Kill Shot, or Glyph of Kill Shot, over Serpent Sting in a PvE environment. However, if there's AoE involved, Serpent Sting will win. Generally, it's highly advised that you take Kill Shot and Explosive Shot, and then people just come down to Serpent Sting and Arcane. For me, for the dummy, because Kill Shot's not going to ever happen on the dummy, I'm just going to take Arcane Shot. Ideally, I guess highly suggested is Arcane Shot, Explosive Shot, Kill Shot for your prime. These are the majors. Nothing benefits us from the majors at all. Arguably Trap Launcher. Trap Launcher is decent for AoE, I guess. Sure. Misdirect if you need your pet to tank a mob. Sure. Nothing else is helpful at all. So I just took Disengage and Deterrent. When it comes down to our minors, Revive Pet, Feign Death, Lesser Proportion, none of them are going to help your DPS. Personal preference, that's what I took. Alright, let's take a peek at my macros. If you have seen my Marksman or my Beastmaster video, you will know I have a 1-button cooldown macro. Survival is no different. I should also take the time to mention I use a lot of alt modifier key button, or a lot of alt modifier macros. What that means is, if I press 1, it is Hunter's Mark. If I hold the alt button, it now is Kill Shot. That is just, it's the way I can cram a lot of abilities in a short, in 4 buttons. 8 abilities, 4 buttons. It's what I prefer. It's how I play. If you like it, copy it. If you already do it, great. If you don't, no problem. Just make sure you have your key bindings down. You know where everything's at, and you can hit crap really, really quickly. Alright, back to my 1-button macro. In this macro I have, I should probably claim, this is my macro for all 3 specs. So you're going to see crap for BM, you're going to see crap for Marksman. Just ignore it. For Survival, my macro is going to have Rapid Fire, any on-use trinkets if I have it, Potion of Tolvir, my /use 10, I'm an engineer, so I have the Synapse Springs on my gloves to increase my agility, a couple of various pet abilities, and then last but not least, Roar of Courage, because I am using Call of Wilds in there, because I'm using a Ferocity pet. Roar of Courage, Terrifying Roar, all those other ones, those are just the buffs that my pets give me to make sure I have it on me before I enter combat. I'll manually do that, and I'll talk about that in part 2. But that's it for my macro. Nothing special about it. There's no fancy one-button win macro. You know, just have your cooldown macro, have everything else keybound and easy to get to, and you're good. Let's take a peek at my UI and my add-ons. Up top, this black bar you see, this is Titan Panel. It's just a utility add-on. It will not help your DPS. However, it is a very nifty add-on, and I like it, so I'm using it. Down here, this is my my chatbox add-on called Prat. It's just not going to touch your DPS. It's got a lot of functionality that I personally like. There you go. My bars are set like this thanks to Bartender 4, which arguably can help your DPS if your craft's all scattered all over the place up here and, you know, in random spots. I like it. They're all green with the outlines, and some of them are circles because of an add-on called Button Facade. Totally cosmetic. I like it. You don't have to take it. It's no big deal. My map is got the art around it thanks to Sexy Map. Hey, Thunder. Again, it's cosmetic. The art around my health frames, Squid frames, cosmetic. Don't need it. Now for the add-ons that you actually might need, arguably must have, whatever you want to call it. Recount or Skada. I use them both. Omen. And I have a really nice add-on here called DHUD 3. It's a heads-up display. And it's just a great way to look at it and immediately have a general idea of how much focus I have. You know, if it's halfway, this orange bar is halfway, I've got 50 focus. If it's up here, you know, I'm close to capping my focus. I should be careful. It's just a nice quick reference add-on, and I like to have it. There are a few more cosmetic add-ons that I won't really bother talking about. Let's look at my power auras for this spec. Alrighty. I think these are the only ones. Ah, darn it, I always do that. Alright, these are the only ones. Right here in the middle, this green thing basically just yells at me, "Hey, dude, Cerberus thing's not on the target, throw it on the target." So, I Cerberus him. This is just how long I have on the buff as it is active for rapid fire. It's nice to keep track of that. This tells me precisely what stance I'm in. I have one for Hawk and one for Fox. And then up here, this is basically the trinket proc from Essence of the Cyclone. The buff's called Twisted. Increases my crit. It's good to know. Past that, there's no fancy power auras. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this bar is ForteXorcist. It's an amazing add-on for tracking cooldowns, internal cooldowns on trinkets, certain procs, you know, stuff for professions like my synapse springs, or, you know, if you're a tailor, the proc on your back, all that good stuff. It's a really nifty add-on, incredibly configurable. However, it might confuse you the first few times. Just do, you know, stick with it, mess around, try to look for a guide on it. It's a nice add-on. That being said, I believe that is everything I need to include for part 1 of this video. You know, we've overviewed stats, spec, talents, pet talents, my UI, my add-ons, some general setups, and that sounds about right. Part 2 will cover a really in-depth look at our rotation, our cooldown usage, and how to go about handling our lock and load procs, which is a big deal for playing Survival Hunters. There you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Rate, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your guildies, spread the word, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what I'm doing wrong. You know, leave a comment. I thrive off your guys' comments. I use them to better myself, to better my videos, to share my knowledge, to correct myself. You know, I'm not always right, and I love being proved wrong because I want to be better when possible. So, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you all in part 2. See you later.